Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Today we're gonna make pumpkin pie. So today I'm actually gonna be making pumpkin pie for the first time ever. Actually, I'm gonna be making pie for the first time ever. I've made a lot of different things. I've baked a lot of different things, but I've never baked a pie before. So this will be a fun experience. I've done a lot of research. The recipe I'm using is actually from Food Network. So I'll be taking a few tips I've seen online here and there and adding to that, but I'm hoping that the actual recipe is a pretty good foundation. I'm hoping this one goes well. It's a little bit more high stakes for me because I'm not just baking for fun or just to make a video. I'm actually making this pie to take over to my in-laws for Thanksgiving tomorrow. So a little bit nervous, very excited. I think it's gonna go well, so let's get started. Okay, step one, we're gonna work on our dough. So I am a little bit too nervous this year to go ahead and try and make my own dough. So I just went ahead and got this pre-made Pillsbury pie crust dough. I've heard from a lot of great Southern cooks that I know that this is a pretty good pie dough to work with if you're not gonna do homemade. So we're gonna start here and I will try making my own dough sometime in the future. But basically we're just gonna roll the dough out, make sure it's all nice and even, and then I'm gonna transfer it to our pie dish right here. One thing I do wanna try, just for a little bit of fun, is I've got two crusts here. So I'm gonna try and take that second crust and actually cut it up and braid it to make a little bit of a braided crust. Maybe ambitious for my first time making a pie, but hey, we're here to have fun. Now this is a refrigerated dough versus a frozen one. So I'm hoping it's not too hard to roll out off the bat. Let's see. Okay, not bad. There's a little bit of things that maybe need to get worked out towards the end, but this is all smooth and good. Awesome. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll it out just a tiny bit, just to kind of make sure it's nice and smooth and all laid out and a little bit more malleable for me to put into my pie dough. Ooh. Oh dear. I didn't think this through before I started moving. Okay, let's just gently drape this in. Okay. And I'm just kind of, I draped it on top and I'm just kind of gently pushing it in. Okay, so it looks like this dough is not gonna be totally flat inside my dish. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and crimp it. I have got flour everywhere already, y'all. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try and crimp the dough a little bit so it'll lay flatter, and then I'll put my pie, like little braided crust on top of that. So I'm gonna work on that now. So here is what our pie dough looks like so far. I ended up just kind of flattening the dough against the pie dish, just kind of smoothed it out. There's a little bit of excess around the edge, but I figure once we have our little braided crust, it won't matter. So, time for the crust. Basically my strategy is going to be, I'm going to roll the pie dough out and then cut it in half, and on that half I'm going to cut them into small strips that I can braid together. I'd like to save half of the dough for a little bit of decoration on top, as well as my strategy to try the dough before tomorrow, or not the dough, rather the whole pie, is I'm thinking I'm going to cut out a small little circle of pie dough and then put it into a muffin tin along with the pumpkin pie filling, and we can give that a try tonight. So that's my strategy. Obviously, don't know if it'll work. That's what we're finding out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this dough a little bit of a roll. I'm trying to get it pretty decently thin. Got flour everywhere. I think I'm gonna probably keep getting flour everywhere until this recipe is done. But this is what we have so far for our pie dough. Now comes the tricky part. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna save this part for some decorations and the pumpkin pie slice that we'll try. If I need to go into this for the braid, I will. But now I'm gonna go ahead and cut this dough into small pieces. I'm gonna score it first, and then from there I'm gonna try and probably end up using this actually to line it up and make sure I'm getting straight lines. So yeah. Alright, so we have our dough all cut into strips. Now it's time to braid them. So I've got these 3 pieces right here. I'm just going to lightly cross them over each other. I'm not going to smush any of the ends together. I'm just going to try and braid them lightly and let the ends be loose. So let's give that a try. Let's start here, like it was a strip of hair. So we're going to go over. And then we're gonna go over. I think it does kind of help if you hold them down a little bit at one end. And then braid with the other hand. Okay. Yay! Okay, I think it's coming together. I think this is gonna work. I'm very excited. Okay. We are braiding. We are braiding. Just like braiding your own hair, but it's dough that you're trying not to break. Alright y'all, we have our first braid. So I'm going to set that aside and work on braiding all the other strips I have, and then I will be right back. our dough is almost done. So I wet the edge of the pie crust to hopefully help the braid stick. And now what we're gonna do, let me grab one that looks pretty solid. Okay. We're gonna just put this right around the edge of our pie crust and kind of push it on there. Like that. Awesome, okay. And then what we're gonna do is, when we get to the end of our braid, we're going to trim it with some scissors to try and make the braid nice and even and easy to attach to. So I'm going to trim the other side. Okay, this is what we have so far. Looks good. I'm excited. All right, now I've just got to repeat that with the rest of our little pie braids. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and braid it as much as I can. I'm going to hold it right there. Pinch it. Then I'm going to attach it to the other one. Now the tricky part here is trying to get it to mesh with the other braid. Okay. Okay, looking good. I actually not need as many of these braids as I thought. Awesome. Okay, great. I'm going to trim these edges. Add our next braid. Take this one and trim the edges, and then go ahead and smush the edges together. Like that. Here, let me show you. So I've taken it and the edges are kind of smushed together. So I'm gonna roll it, make a little rose. Oh, that's cute. Okay. I hope this actually looks cute. I think it looks cute. I don't know how it's actually going to bake though. Okay. Kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm less optimistic about it now. Oh wait, that's cuter. That's cuter. Okay. I'll just make it smaller. Tuck the edges under. Okay. What do y'all think? I'm kind of happy with that. I think that's cute. Awesome. Okay, yay! So now all we have to do is stick this in the fridge and let it chill for a bit while we work on our crust. First, I'm going to work on some decorations and get everything ready to make our little mini pumpkin pie. But as far as the actual crust, this is done. Now we're moving on to the easy part, the filling. I'm going to take some 100% pure pumpkin puree, sugar, heavy cream, eggs, and a little bit of maple syrup. And basically all we have to do is just whisk it together gently in a bowl, and that's kind of all there is to the pumpkin pie filling. Okay, we're on pretty much the last step. So I've got my pie crust right here, which I think honestly looks beautiful for someone who is making their first pie ever. And then we've got some of our toppings, and we've got our beautiful pumpkin pie filling, which smells fantastic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take, let me rinse this off. I'm gonna take a fork, and before I pour my pumpkin pie filling into the crust, I'm actually gonna just poke some holes throughout the pie dough just to try and help it get nice and flaky, or at least that's what I was told by a coworker who's a good Southern woman and has made many a pumpkin pie in her day. So, just like that, nothing too crazy. I don't know if you can see it, but I just poked a few holes in the bottom. Now, you're just gonna pour this filling into our pie. Okay. Let me see if I can scrape a little bit more out. I'm not sure exactly how full it's supposed to be. I'm not sure if it's gonna rise at all. I don't think it will. I don't know. We'll have to see, y'all. I think it looks really pretty already though. I'm feeling pretty happy and pretty confident about this. Okay, let me clean this off a little bit. Awesome, okay. So now I've got a little bit of an egg that I just beat up, and basically what I'm gonna do is just brush the edges of the crust with the egg wash that I have. And And this is gonna help it get that really pretty golden color. Or at least that's what I've seen on Food Network. I'm hoping it works for us. I think it will. And then my plan for the toppings is I'm going to kind of nestle them in the middle of the filling. I'm going to try and just place them on top very lightly and delicately so that they'll bake on top of the filling instead of falling through it. I've seen a lot of videos on it, so I think it's going to work and be fine. But I'll let you know. We are just about done. So I'm just going to take a little bit of sugar and lightly sprinkle it along the edge of our crust. I might sprinkle a little bit on top as well. I've been told to put granulated sugar on the crust. I just don't know if it's gonna like be good on top of the actual pie or not. I think it will. I'm not sure. I think it looks really pretty right now. Whatever happens, I'm not too worried about it. I'm a little bit worried about the leaves in the middle because I think they kind of sunk into the dough. I think they'll be okay there, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Last but not least, I'm gonna sprinkle just a little bit of cinnamon over the same area, like on the little pie crust, because I think that'll be really pretty. So, some of y'all might have realized this. I just did. I did not save any of the pumpkin pie filling to use in a little like mini pie that we could try tonight. So, here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to just judge it off of how it looks, and then I'll update y'all on my story tomorrow how it tastes. So you can tune in then. Have a pie. So admittedly, it's not perfect. I'm gonna try and show you. It's not perfect. Some of the crust fell, some of it didn't. Some of it I think got a little too much egg and sugar on it because it's a little bit on the burnt side, but I don't think it's really burnt. I think it's just more a little bit toasty. It's also kind of hard to tell because I did sprinkle that cinnamon on it, so. But for my first pie I've ever made, honestly, I'm not mad at it. Again, unfortunately, I can't try it right now because I'm saving it for Thanksgiving. So what I'm gonna do is, if you follow my Instagram account, Bria.bakes, I'm going to make sure on my story to record my reaction and my family's reaction to the actual pie once we taste it. But just based off of looks alone, I think this is a really good recipe. It's got a beautiful color to it. The pie crust, from what I can tell, looks really nice. Honestly, it was a great pie crust to kind of have my first intro to pie with. I think it was really easy to work with. I didn't have any issues with putting it in the actual pie pan. I didn't have any issues with all the intricate stuff I was trying to do with my actual pie. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty happy with it. The ingredients I put in it, the brown sugar, the cinnamon, all of the stuff that I added to make the pie actually really tasty, I have a lot of faith in, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it went really well. Again, I will update you on the actual taste test, but as always, the recipe for this will be in my description. You can check out my blog and see what I did to make this pie. I added a few tweaks to the Food Network recipe, so I'll make sure to include that. But that about does it for this Thanksgiving pie. Thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, please let me know. If you have any other recipes you'd like me to try, I love trying new things, clearly. So I'm always looking for new things to try, new recipes to make, so feel free to leave those in the comments below. But I am going to go ahead and get the rest of my prep for Thanksgiving done, and I will see you all next time.